Hi there, beautiful beings of YouTube. Welcome to my channel, by Lara Renee. Today I'm going to do a reading for you based on what the universe would like you to know. So this is a pick a card series. What you can do is just take 3 long deep breaths and relax. Feel yourself into the moment. Ask your higher self which group has the message that you need to know right now. So we have the green group, the blue group, the purple group, and the magenta group. Our first group is the green group. King of Swords, the second house, dreams, harmony, the lovers, caregiver, dwelling in truth, and the only thing that is real is love. So the message we have for you today, green group, it's actually a beautiful reading. May not feel like it for you at this point in time, but we're going through a shift in mindset. This is the message that is being confirmed for you, group green. So there is actually a shift in your mindset, in the way in which you're doing things, in the way in which you're perceiving what matters most. So if you are feeling a little bit upset and a little bit lost, and you've come to this because you need to have some reassurance, this is letting you know that what you're going through is natural and part of the process. It feels like you are questioning everything up until this point. And the reason being is that you're actually moving into the next phase. And in order to go to the next level, you need to be real with yourself and also challenge what is going on for you in this time, and whether it's in alignment to what it is that you've always wanted to accomplish in your life. I feel like there's a whole lot of nurturing that needs to happen for you at this point in time, holding space for yourself and holding space for your desires. In terms of moving forward, there needs to be a letting go, and that can be quite challenging, and I'm feeling like there's a lot of mental activity that's going on. And this can be a little bit upsetting because sometimes you don't know which way is up or which way you should be going, and there's a lot of old ideas and beliefs that are rising to the surface that need to be clutter cleared, to be let go. So there's a point here in which your dreams are actually pinpointing to you which way you should be going, and we're moving towards a more harmonious chapter. But in order for it to happen, you're going to have to go through a little bit of clutter clearing, getting rid of the old stuff, and that can be quite scary and fearful because you're used to doing things a certain way, and there's a certain expectation as to which you have done things up until this point, but it's no longer relevant. So it's about making the time and space to be really raw and honest with yourself and look at what is working, what isn't, and why you're doing what you're doing. But the key factor here is you're actually going through a mental shift and having to connect into the truth of all things. When things are going according to the divine will, it is effortless, it's harmonious, there's no challenge too great for you. Even if things do come up, you're able to withstand it. But at the moment, there's a little bit of a discord, and it's pushing up against some things that really need to be put in the bin. And that's the challenge here. But it's also allowing you to make more space for the things that matter, and that you're rejoining the path in which brings you the joy and what you actually came here to express in the first place. So what I mean by that is it's like you've gone off the path for a little bit. being distracted by material things, money matters. Really, it's just coming back to energy and looking at things in an energetic point of view. It's only stuff. The materialistic stuff is only stuff. And if you've been raised in a childhood where you were lacking, or there was an emphasis on what you did or didn't have, essentially it can challenge everything that you've built up until this point. But the truth of the matter is, you are more than the things. You are more than those things. The only true essence of who we are is love. And because you're going to go through a new chapter, it's about eradicating and letting go of all the old stuff, and knowing that it might be a little bit rough to begin with. The storm might be a little bit rough. However, it's moving you to a clearer path. And the dreams card is showing up here, talking about your creativity. Yes, look at what you're dreaming about in your night dreams, because what we don't process during the day, it happens in our dreams at night until we work out the underlying belief that it's resting on it, and then we let that go. It's also your life purpose. What brings you the joy? What's your natural instinct? And bringing that to the forefront. It's okay to have gone off track. It's just part of the process. But you know, the harmony card is present, the lovers card here is present, the caregiver card here is present. It wants to remind you that the truth and everything that comes from the divine will operates at that high level. Our job is to let go of all those things that are hindering its natural flow. So while you're feeling a little bit challenged, or, you know, what the hell's going on with this situation, why am I going through this? It's even recognizing where you've invested your energy, where you've actually put your identity into different things, and being able to retract that and focus more on things that are universal and powerful, the truth and love. It's a very strong reading here, but it's important to hold space for the things that matter to you most. We've got the green group. You know, if you relate it to the chakra, it's the heart chakra, it's the heart space. We only need the stuff that is practical and helps us continue our path of joy. If you're not feeling a sense of joy in the stuff that you're doing, the people that you're hanging around with, the activities, it's time for a reset. And it's okay to question everything. There's a few people out there who've done things for family members. You've done it because it's a commitment of some sort to your family of origin, and it feels like you want to break free from that. Being true to yourself and honest with what it is that you want to do might stir the pot, but it also breaks people free from their own confines. So you have to be there for yourself, but you are breaking down barriers and creating new boundaries and having a whole different thought process. But you have to hold that space. And when things are actually working with the divine will, it happens in a harmonious and effortless way. So have a look at creating a time every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. This is a commitment to yourself where you sit in that 5 minutes at the same time every day that allows you to commune with your inner landscape and your higher self, so that you can unpick every little bit consciously and one step at a time, like gently. And as you let go, it opens up your mind to a much more clearer path and a much more loving path, one that you've actually always been desiring and chasing for. It's okay to acknowledge the hardship and the challenge just by identifying it, acknowledging it, and then determining that it is not contributing to your greater good. Therefore, you're letting it go. Now, for those who are visual, you might find it a lot more easier to imagine it being thrown into a fire, or, put into the water, sent into the sun. Use a visualization that helps you, bury it. For those who are much more tactile, you might want to write it on a bit of paper and then watch it burn. And you do that process of letting go. And you keep doing it until you've actually let go. So there you go, Pole. The green group. That is your message. If you liked it or you have any feedback or comments, drop it down below. See you next time. Hello, Blue Pile. This is your reading. What does the universe wish for you to know? We have the Sun, Aries, say what you mean, not knowing, the Queen of Raphael, seek, stepping into stillness, miracles and blessings. So the message that's coming through for the blue group is about aligning with your true nature and being able to be in contact with your true heart's desires. What brings you joy? And there's a need to be very direct, very specific to the situation. There feels like a little bit of chaos going on and misunderstandings, an inability to communicate clearly. People aren't paying attention and nobody's listening to what the other is. Ultimately, it is listening to your inner landscape and what matters to you. There's a calling for you to take the unknown, what's unknown, and making it known. And this is talking to you about your true heart's desires. What is the key to your joy? What has obscured it and obstructed it from being expressed? So, on the one hand, it's asking you to make time to sit down with yourself and listen in. You are the creator of your life. You have the power to create your life. It doesn't matter the circumstances. If you're in a situation that you don't want to be in anymore, it's a matter of just changing the thoughts and the reasons of being in that situation. What is the lesson here? And how is that an expression of your true self? There is an element of confusion with those who chose the blue group and being able to express yourself clearly. So in order to find that space and that message, you have to make the time to listen and allow yourself to just express what you feel in that exact moment. Not censoring it, not making it polite, not using politically correct terms, because the process that we do that when we censor ourselves prevents us from being truthful and honest. And it's taking the practice of saying it. Now, there seems to be this idea that you're not sure what to do or what you should be doing. And that is something to let go and set free. Because that's just a thought. And that thought is obstructing what it is that you want to express without being censored. So there's this feeling of this deep inner urge to express your true nature, but you're having to tiptoe around it. The answer that you're looking for is actually inside of you. And you're able to better hear it when you get rid of the obstruction. That is a very key message. So if you think of those who go excavating in the mines, they're digging deep and they're tunneling down, and they go through layers and layers of sediment. And they sort and sift through a number of different sediments in order to find the one that they're looking for. And this is what this particular reading is about. You're digging deep, going down, tunneling into your very being, into your heart center, and actually finding that element that makes you you. And having no hindrance to just fully expressing yourself. So it's a stepping into your power, but it's letting go of all the things that you don't actually need. You're setting it free. You're looking for that thing. And when you think you're there, dig a little bit deeper. We're very creative creatures. And we have the power to create whatever it is that we want when we set our mind to it. So when you embark on this journey, you're looking inside your mind and seeing what you're holding on to. And whether that feels like something that you wanted to express in this life, or if it was given to you, say by your family, your friends, your peer group, your work. Are you living for this ideology, or are you coming from a place that is your true and natural self? The blue is about being your natural self, calm and relaxed. If we relate it to the chakra, we're talking about our truth and expressing and communicating what our inner beingness, our desire, our impulsiveness. The Aries card here is the seed of fire, the desire. It's the beginning, it's the pioneering, the foundation stage. And it's charging forward with that desire and clearing away everything else that won't allow it to seed, to come forward. The blue group is about digging deep, not looking for the answers outside of yourself. It never is outside of you, it's within. And when you're looking at other situations and other people, you're looking outside of you, and this reading is drawing you back in and getting you to question why you say what you say and do what you do, and who was that for, because you're looking to let go of that and become your true natural self. When you clear the way, you're better able to express your needs and desires, the original ones that you came here to express. So it's looking at your current situation. What is the lesson that you're learning here? And what can you take forward with you to the thing that matters to you most? Now, there's a lot of different people watching this video, so it will apply to various situations. The message is still the same. What is your true heart's desire? And what is standing in the way? And why is it necessary to hold on to that? Who does that serve? Sometimes people want to guilt trip you because they're afraid of the change. So for those of you who are coming up against a little bit of resistance on the outside, again, this reading is about turning inward. Because they are responsible for themselves and you are responsible for you. But don't allow outside influence to determine what you came here to express. So this is about change, but changing for the better. You know what to do. It's standing up for your true inner being and being able to express that freely. As you let go, you create more space psychologically, financially, emotionally, mentally, physically. You allow more space and more flow. So it's trusting that as you go into this excavation and digging deep, like another analogy is when you go into the wardrobe, into the closet, and you're clearing out all the clothing that you have, because that was the old you. It's the same here with your thoughts and your feelings and your actions. It's clearing it out, making space and allowing flow to happen. It's an inside job, so it's turning inward. Every time you feel like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what I should be doing, why am I confused about this? Put it in the bin. Donate it. Donate it to a place that you feel comfortable donating. It may be your God. It may be burying it in the ground. It doesn't matter as long as you let it go. And the more you let go, the deeper you can excavate and actually reach down and find the thing that you've been looking for this whole time. You're just not seeing it because it's obscured by surface thinking and distraction and people outside telling you what you should or shouldn't be doing, thinking, saying, feeling. So as you go through each layer, you will be more at ease and less censoring of what it is that you came to express. So that's your message, Blue Group. If you like the reading, or you'd have some comments, drop them down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Hello Purple Group, this is the message that the universe wants you to know. So let's have a look. We have the Four of Wands, the Ninth House, Cancer, paying attention to signs, freedom, Three of Gabrielle, choices, exceeding expectations, ask for help, So Purple Group, I sense big changes coming. When I was shuffling these cards for you, the message that I heard clearly was moving forward. So there's a lot of progression and need to move forward with this project. So there are changes coming through, but there's an establishment of a new situation, creating a new situation, expanding, broadening, change. These are all key terms that are coming through for this particular reading. Bonding, stability, in relationships that are helping you to expand. So it's actually creating a new project with some new people, and they're going to be different ways of thinking and different ways of being. So it's important to take note of these changes that may just feel like it's pushing you outside of your comfort zone. But your power comes from being open and adapting to the situation. many options will present themselves, but I feel like there's a very distinct, intuitive group with this particular reading with the purple people. It's following your gut instinct to be able to move through this particular project, because you're embarking in new territory, and when you are doing something that's outside your comfort zone, or you haven't necessarily done this particular project before, it may bring up challenges. It may bring up just some limiting beliefs. But there's also a feeling that you guys, you have done things before and you've experienced things in the past by which you will know how to handle the situation coming up. So while the context seems different, your own personal experience and how you handle different situations will transfer these skills over to this new situation. So while it feels new and possibly challenging you and making you grow, you have this instinctive way of knowing how to handle any situation because of past experiences. You're able to transfer what you did in a different scenario and bring it into this one. And you'll know what I'm talking about when you're facing it. There will be different options coming up, and you have to trust your gut instinct and stay focused on the outcome. This one's a very positive, empowering reading, because the baseline for this particular experience that you're going through, this project, is setting you up to go to the next level. But it's opening up and being very aware of what belongs in the past and what is contributing to your future. Now, home seems to be a very important aspect in this reading. Having a steady home base or a foundation in which you feel safe enough to be able to come back to. So that's really important. So having that base to return to in which you can reset. Now I get the feeling of elevation. The key words was moving forward. But there's an idea of expanding and elevation and moving to another level. So I feel like some of you in this group is at a stage in which you are kind of locked in to a situation and you're not seeing outside of that. So if you could just take a peek, take a couple of steps outside of that comfort zone and see how you feel. But the majority of you have this instinct that there's something more for you and something greater. But you need to move outside of that comfort zone because it's taking you to the next level. Just like in games, you need to do the first level before you can get to the second. If you try and jump too many levels ahead without knowing the buttons or knowing how the character works, you can prematurely forfeit the level because you haven't had the practice and the experience. However, you seem to have this skill. The people in this group seem to have this knack of being able to take things from their past and understand the underlying principle and transfer it into a new context and come out in a situation that was better than anticipated. So it's almost moving out your little chatty mind, the one that likes to negate everything and tell you why you can and can't do something, putting that little voice away and stepping into your power. Looking at things, knowing that you have a foundation to come back to if you need it, but having that sense of curiosity to move outside your comfort zone. And all good things are coming when you do that. I'm seeing that it's a good idea to align yourself with people who have already done what you want to be doing. because they've already understood the path. It's not ideal to speak to people who haven't done what you want to do before, because they have an opinion but they don't have the experience. So you can know what the pitfalls are of the journey that you want to be taking. I feel like some of you are actually breaking outside of family boundaries, family rules. And when you step outside your culture or your family or your familiar structure, it upsets the system. However, you have to persevere and look to the resources that are opening and expanding and taking you to the next level. Don't feel like you're confined to this situation or that person or whatever fear it is that's coming through for you. It's stepping outside of that comfort zone, but knowing that you have somewhere to return to if it doesn't work out. So this is what I'm trying to say here, is that you have a sense of safety to come back to. You won't come back to it, you don't need to. But in order for you to leave your situation, you want to know that you can go back. Nobody likes to go back because they already know what's going to happen. You guys are sort of birthing into the next level. Moving forward, moving onward, moving upward. Dealing with old habits and old ways of being. Choices that you would have made in the past. Look for those signs. Look for when you're doing things out of comfort. And then ask yourself, where am I going to? And is where I'm going to within this comfort zone? Trust yourself. Just focus your attention on being open and curious. And focus on freedom and ascension. And everything that you were working towards will be better than expected. That's it, Purple Group. If you like the reading, give it a thumbs up. If you have any feedback, drop it in the comments below. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hello Magenta Pile, or Future. This is your reading. What would the universe like you to know? We have the Six of Pentacles. We have the Fourth House. We have Sexual Arts. Containment. Ace of Michael. Study. Cherishing yourself. And you are limitless. So my dear Magenta Pile, this is a very interesting combination of energies. I feel like the current situation that you're facing is about money matters. It's about stability. It's about knowing, debts, where money is going and where it's coming from. However, where this issue has arisen from comes from growing up and the kind of belief systems that you had or were imposed upon as children. There's also a misunderstanding about creative energy and creative life force. So there is an eclectic group here, for those who come across this reading. The issue that you're concerned about is money, but the blocks to your money matters actually stem from some traumatic childhood events. There's a need for self-acceptance here, and being able to nurture yourself in a brand new way. Almost, well, definitely a reparenting of your inner child and going back to yourself as a child, but with the knowledge that you have now, and being able to give yourself everything that you deserved and needed growing up. There's a holding on to some experiences that are blocking the flow of money. Money is a creative tool. Money is an exchange. And so we have masculine energy and feminine energy. We have the giving life force and then the receiving life force. And so what's happened for you guys in this group is a mismanagement of an exchange. Now just take some time to sit with yourself and just ask, what is blocking me right now? And allow the memory to come up. It might not come up straight away, it might come up straight away. It might be something that you kind of ignore and dismiss straight away because you know you hear it all the time, or it pops up all the time. That is the one that you need to be focused on. There is a sense of transformation that is going to happen for you. Again, there's quite a few, the message in 3 of these groups is about doing the inner work. But for you guys, it's more so in terms of studying and learning how to take what has happened to you and transform it in a way that empowers you and allows you to let go of the mismanaged exchange. Whether it was a teacher who said something to you at school that you believed, or whether somebody has harmed you physically. That is the mismanaged of exchange of energy that I'm talking about. It's healing that, and once you've healed that, the money matters will heal themselves. Because the flow of energy will be going in the right order. So I feel like a lot of you are carrying some heavy on the heart. Heavy on the heart, so I feel a little bit of grief for some of you. I feel some physical and mental abuse. This reading is about forming a foundation of stability, but the exchange was incorrect. And that wasn't your fault. But you are in a position now to turn it around. And it's a sorting out of what belongs to you and what doesn't. So whatever came at you, if it was a teacher who said something offensive, and then you went to work today and somebody said something that is resonant of the same energy as what the teacher said to you when you were a kid, it's being able to heal that and actually letting it go. There should be a feeling inside your body that tells you that what this person, or what that exchange was not coming from the divine self. So once you let go of the hurt that is around this incident, there's probably a couple for a few of you, but there's a couple of incidences that are looking to be released. That's why this has come up for you. And it's understanding you as a person. It wasn't your fault. So it's up to you to go, well, I don't have to hold that anymore because I didn't know. As the adult, I'm going back to that child and I'm giving them a hug. I'm giving them the guidance that I needed in that moment. There's a change in mindset for this particular group, but it's surrounding money matters and changing the foundation in which you are currently operating from, because the exchange that happened growing up wasn't going in the right direction, wasn't the right flow. It was coming from the non-win-win perspective. I feel like some of you were the person that was supposed to relieve the other person of the pain that they were feeling. Trying to get rid of the problem, which wasn't your problem to begin with, but you've been lumped with it, and it's affecting the balance. So that's where the money issue is actually arising from. But you have the power to be able to let that go. And at times, we hang on to this so tightly because we're so afraid that if we let go, we become vulnerable again. But this message is reassuring you that you are not that little kid anymore. You are there to be for that little kid. You're there to be with them so that they're better able to let go of something that wasn't their fault or wasn't, it wasn't asked for. When you are able to listen and acknowledge, when you talk to a friend and they have a problem, they come to you and they're talking to you, you're holding space for them. And it's because you held space for them that they were able to air and vent out their concern, that they were able to let it go. And then they go off about their day because they feel relieved and heard and held. That's what you need to do for yourself. Now, it might seem very disconnected in terms of the money matter that you're facing, but I can assure you, once you let go, the flow will be in the right direction and you will have space for that money to come in. I feel like some of you are looking to go into a new line of work in this particular group, and this is an encouragement for you to follow that inkling, that you've had this inkling. And one way to honour yourself is to follow through with the inkling. Even if your mum says it's not good, or you're saying it's not good, you're hearing all these different voices telling you that it's not a good idea, but in your heart of hearts you're like, this is what I want to do and this is where I want to go. We are creative beings by nature, and we are able to move forward and overcome the hurdles and get what we need when we need it. But there is this having to let go and make way for that to come through. Now, the whole reading, what the universe wants you all to know, there is this underlying theme of being able to let go of the stories that we tell ourselves. I've said it in all the other groups. And the context in which this particular group is looking at is moving energetically the flow into the right direction and giving to yourself the way that you give to your friends. Studying that path, coming to understand, even if it wasn't professionally, if you guys are having an inkling to know something more about a particular subject. Now, I'm getting the feeling that some of you could better understand the realm of sexual creation. So that's a very small group in this larger group. But that's tying in to also how do you fund that. And again, it's going back into the past of an incident where the flow shut down, where you no longer are able to receive what you need in order to go forward. Does that make sense? If you were treated a certain way growing up, it may have made you feel like you were incompetent or shouldn't have done that or whatever. However it comes across, the energy is that you didn't feel like you were right about it, but that is not true. That is to go back to the original source and allow you to be free from that particular thing. It's like people, the analogy that's coming to me is people are carrying bricks. We've all got a backpack, and for every terrible incident that we have, we get a brick. And we tend to accumulate them and stick them in the backpack. And some of us are questioning, why the hell is this life so hard and heavy, but are unwilling to let go of what's in the backpack? So they want to give it to someone else. And some people receive it and they say, yeah, sure, this is all I know. All I do is take other people's bricks. That's an incorrect flow. It's a mismanagement of flow. If we all put the bricks down, we can build a home, or we can just walk away. So if you can just imagine that, this is everything that's happened up until this point has happened, and it lives in the realm of our memory. It is no longer happening, it's a thought. So if you can sort of step back and go, this is a thought I am thinking, this is a memory that's playing in my mind, and see it as a bunch of thoughts, you are better able to let that go. Even if it's just one little tiny step at a time. If you can imagine putting it into a jar, or offloading the bricks, and no longer accepting anything else in your backpack that has, unless it is contributing to your greater good. It's not to say that whatever happened to you, is forgotten or dismissed or not part of your tapestry, but what it's saying is that it's no longer weighing you down. You're able to transform it. You're able to turn that memory into what it is, and that's a memory. You have the intelligence, and you have the power and the ability, because you have survived everything that you've done up until this date, and you're still going. And when you are able to let go of those blocks, the money will flow better, and everything that you need will be fulfilled. So if you enjoyed this reading, give it a thumbs up. If you've got any feedback, drop it in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye for now.